Everyone's doing well, and welcome back to another trade breakdown. So yeah, pretty quick. I'm, expecting this might possibly be the last trade breakdown of January. Right. So far, I believe we are 4 for 4. It's all documented in the group chat. So before I get into this, one thing I've had a lot of messages about is the private mentorship group. Me sending the sort of screenshots of what goes on in there, I think has piqued a lot of people's interest. I had that group closed for a few months, but from February, I will be reopening it. As you guys can see in front of you, what is being offered in regards to content, right? Just the videos and whatnot. Right now, I'm publishing everything on YouTube. It's going to continue that way. So that's the trade breakdowns, the weekly outlooks and whatnot. But, you're probably asking why join the mentorship group, or do you guys want to join it? What you would be getting is the day-to-day guidance, just that sort of reading on price, what we're looking for, when are we looking for it, what should we wait for. It's a sort of guidance that, even if you study the content, even if you're, thinking you're ready, that can be very helpful. It's lifetime guidance, someone sort of helping you as the candles are printed, right? And on top of that, I do offer, or I sort of do the Zooms with the members one-to-one, right? And they're not conditional, meaning I don't really put a cap on the Zooms. If somebody needs more Zooms, that's fine. But what I try to do is not waste time, always have topics prepared, things that we need help on, just make sure they're productive. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much what it is. It's £70 a month. If anyone wants to join, just drop me a message on Telegram or, anywhere else. And yeah, we can work to that, right? So cool. Anyways, that aside, because I've received a few messages about that, let's get into the trade breakdown, right? So I'm literally uploading the next day, right? Because I uploaded yesterday, technically today morning, but talking about yesterday's price action on the Wednesday, didn't do much. FOMC very slow. And what I said to you guys, with this, I would anticipate that GDP comes and gives us a bigger move, right? At least a move towards what we want, considering, FOMC just really didn't do much, right? So a bit of a lagging move, we can say, right? So on top of that, we knew that the European Central Bank is speaking at the start of New York Zone, right? They're dropping their interest rate decision, and then past that we have the GDP, which we had our eyes on, and then of course the ECB continued speaking, right? So cool. As we approach the news, right? So this is 8:30, common a lower time frame. The news drops right here. The news drops with a big candle up. Now, if we sort of ignore everything past this point, where I'll draw a line out just to make it a bit easier for everyone, right? I want you to imagine everything to the right side of this is not there. All of these candles are down with whatever, right? Or rather, let me just make it even clearer, right? I'm going to lock it up for you guys. You can't see this. Or is it completely black? I'm not sure if that is possible. Oh, there we go. Okay, perfect. These, okay, cool. Anyways, so cool, let's discuss this now. You see price looking like this. You've come into New York Zone. You're inside the consolidation, but we have these sort of weird accumulations, right? Work into the premium of this consolidation. If we come onto, we're gonna have to leave that box now, but hopefully there you guys get the sort of image how price is, what's the right word, sort of insinuating a move lower. And we look at the 4-hour candle for New York Zone. And we come back down to the 1 hour. What we can see is we sort of have this run up, a retracement to go into that premium, and we start getting a kick down. And as we get this kick down, we see we've ran some buy side, but we have very, very clear sell side targets that have not been touched. Now, past this, on the 4 hours specifically, we had this gap, this volume imbalance that was untouched and was definitely a target for us. And on the daily time frame, based on yesterday's candle, right, I said to you guys, it's not a strong bias by any means, but considering this weekly candle with price moving down, I would anticipate the next day expands lower towards the previous daily low and towards that gap, right? Now, when we come on the lower time frame, what we can see, right, if I hover over these candles, is from the news drop, we have a move up, sweeping the previous 15-minute candle, immediate move down, next candle follows, absolutely smashes through all the targets, and that's it, right? Happy days for everyone. So cool. That's the context for price, right? Again, the basis of the context, you can watch yesterday's video. It might make a bit more sense because now it has played out. But essentially, coming into the day, we have a run up. You know, this is manipulation. We ran a good bit of buy side. Then clearly we have a market maker sell model in play. And this market maker sell model already, you know, sort of started playing out as the news drops, right? Because if I turn this back on, you see around mid-session when the news drops, all the news does to start off is manipulate by running higher, right? Retracing, and then to move down. And what I said to the group chat, right? You guys might have seen the messages. If you haven't seen them, then the Telegram main chat, right? What I said was wait for the 1 hour and the 15-minute candle to show a clear direction. Otherwise, with price pushing up like this, there was a chance we would have just sat inside this consolidation and not done anything. So when the following 5-minute candle printed down, right, this was good to see. And then when the one after printed down, this was the confirmation. To me, it started getting clearer by this candle in specific, 8:45, that we are heading down. When I saw this candle start printing and it's printing energetically down, somewhere down here, what I said to everybody was, this is probably a good area to market execute. We had a 5-minute fair value gap, but I said the better entry is probably either market executing here or market executing the low, right? The trade I took was from approximately here, as I said, to market execute, covering the high, right? The manipulation created by news, and we were targeting the 4-hour gap. Roll down time frame. We were targeting this 4-hour volume imbalance, right? And of course, in that process, we were taking our previous daily low, and we were also, of course, heading past that. So you guys can see, if we see, you know, where price went up to, it's about 3R. I'll tell you why that's significant in a second. Because although the targets aren't as clear on the DXY, the targets are definitely clearer on Euro USD. And as you guys can see, that's a very simple trade. Now, I think the issue that people would have with a trade like this is, you know, the framework is set, the news has dropped, and now price is showing its hand. Is a lot of people would either fumble for an entry waiting for, you know, fair value gap or retracement, OTE, and then that's just not given to you sometimes. Sometimes when the news kicks in, the volatility comes in, price just wants to run. If you guys notice, that's happened on this trade breakdown, on the previous one, and I believe one of the other ones as well. And in that instance, you don't have to do a lot. When price has completely, you know, smashed one way, right? As price is printing this candle, this is where I'm considering risk and, you know, should I shave a bit, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, it's not really like this. I didn't even have to. It's just, you know, blown straight to the target. That's it. Done. Right? And what I said to the group chat was like, cool, right? Some people are in, and we knew that DXY has the possibility of running lower here, right? So if you want to, you know, extend that target, right? What now that price has hit that main target, what I would do is go break even, secure a partial, most likely, you know, take about half off the table maybe. So at this point, right, imagine price is about here, you have about 2R in profit. It's good to just close 1R, you secure it, you have no risk on the table, and the other half of your trade could still possibly run. And we had some, you know, potentially elongated targets for DXY. You could be running all the way down to these lows if it had run, but clearly it's not, and we'll speak about that in a second as well, right? So cool. Now this sort of mirrored trade was taken on Euro USD. The Euro USD, we see news drops 8:30, you get a big retracement, very similar to DXY, 15-minute candle sweep, starts running up. In this run up, I've said to everyone, you know, guys, market execute around here, right? We'll buy stop this high. I will go for about there. I believe it will roughly. Okay. Wow, cool. There, and we're covering the news low. Right, that's that sort of manipulation created by the news. We're not anticipating this get taken out, and furthermore, this is a market maker buy model, right? And we had some very clear targets. We'll turn this off. For the Euro USD, these targets were insanely simple. This cluster of flat highs was target number 1. We'll mark this out quickly. And, you know, again, this sort of cluster of highs we can mark as another target. And past that, you know, some people may again have tried to even run at and whatnot. And I think in this move, to an extent, we got lucky, right? You guys can see this is only a 5-minute time frame. Price had smashed both my targets, but take profit was not set here. For some people, it might have been set here, so they would have closed the trade at about 2.4 R. Managed to get a bit lucky and actually literally closed the trade about there, about 0461. Yeah, 0461. I got very lucky there. Trade ended up being, you know, close to 4 R, just above 3.5 R. So not a bad setup at all. You know, in terms of the trade, even if you keep it, you know, if we strip it back, keep it simple, and it's 2.3 R, that's an extremely easy setup. Your market executed because you've seen prices manipulated. It's around the news event. The distribution has clearly begun. You have that market maker buy order framework. You have sitting dot targets, right? Very obvious targets you expect to get hit out. And within 1 5-minute candle, 2, 3. So within 15 minutes, the target is absolutely smashed. If the people who got lucky, we would have made, you know, taken the easiest target anywhere from 2.3 all the way to the top to like maximum of about 4 R, right? And again, if somebody had left the runner, or when I recommended to leave runner, that same thing I was mentioning guys earlier would have been on about 2.3 R in a scenario like this. Consider closing, you know, maybe 1 R, maybe close the 1.3, leave that 1 R running, and no, take the risk off the table. Why have risk off the table now? Also risk on the table, right? Doesn't make sense. But yeah, guys, again, I wouldn't say it's a, you know, difficult setup. It's not something that's by any means sort of hard to decipher. I think where people would struggle in a setup like this is thinking, should I pull the trigger here? And honestly, it comes down to reaction time, right? It's that understanding of, look, the news has dropped. You're getting a candle like this where the candle has swept the previous candle and absolutely comes back up. And then that main thing is that context for price, understanding this is a market maker buy model, understanding these targets are so flat and obvious they need to be taken out of the market. Even if we're going to be going lower later, they're probably getting swept first. And of course, as you guys can see, price absolutely smashed through. So yeah, that is pretty much it, right? I don't think there's a lot more to explain, but if you guys have any other questions, anything you want to know, anything I didn't explain good enough, just let me know. Drop a message below in the comments or in the Telegram chat, and I'll be happy to help.